Man. I'm shaking, I'm shaking. I'm shaking. We're on a little adventure today, aren't we?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna find anything?
I hope so.
Gonna see some cool stuff?
We're gonna find some parts to some mills and maybe some cannonballs.
I think we're gonna have the most awesome adventure ever today. We're on this little river and we're gonna go down, I don't know, 5-10 miles, something like that. And we're going to, Rich has already been on this stretch. I've never been on this stretch. So we're going to see some old mill sites. There was Civil War fighting in this area. There's French and Indian War activity. It's a really, really old river, and it's. I think we're going to find some stuff. I've already been in the water a little bit. Haven't found too much of interest, but we just got started. All right, so we'll get back at it when we see our first otter on the bank eating a watermelon, or we find a cool spot to turn the camera back on. You never know which is going to come first, right? An otter, he's not even listening. It's early in the morning. You want to get an early start. All right, back to it. Still bebopping down the river, and there's a cave right there. I didn't bring my flashlight, so you guys are lucky. But apparently it's a named cave and goes up in the bank. Is there any gold coins in there? Have you checked?
I have not.
No, I noticed you didn't tell me to bring any flashlights with me today, because I think you just want to go digging, right? I don't blame you. But yeah, maybe on another trip we'll stop back in there and check that out. But we got to get down there. Mills, fords, Civil War sites. That's the remains of an old beaver lodge right there, bank lodge. If you look at the sticks, you can see they're all been cut. But that could be a decade old or maybe 50 years old, I don't know. I haven't seen any fresh sign. So we're coming up on this kind of wide, shallow part of the creek here, and I notice there's some tiger lilies on the bank. What that tells me is either there's an old home site up in here, or this was a mill, or the tiger lily roots washed down in the flood and just happened to lodge there. So it could be good, could be bad, but it definitely could be good. So we're going to jump out here and just look around this edge. This might be an old mill dam. I'm looking at that. That kind of reminds me of a dam. So we'll see if there's any timbers. But that tiger lily, that tells me to get out and dig. Shallow one. Oh, there she goes, Miguel. Just wanted to get out and show you the how the banks get eroded over time. That doesn't even look that old. That's probably not 5. No, you don't have to worry about it. I'll catch it. I mean, it won't go far.
Yeah.
Everything's shallow, so hopefully we might have found our first little spot. I found my first artifact, so I'm not officially skunked. Lucky. This is an old stirrup for riding, for riding horses, and it's pretty old style. We might be on it, man. What do you think? You got a good signal?
Yeah, I got an 81.
Sweet. So what you get?
All right. So
I didn't know, but you know, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do. Yeah, it looks like it's a granite countertop with the sink.
Yeah, that's where the thing goes down.
Yeah.
Not sorry, dude.
All right. Yeah.
Not on the board yet. I hate to say it, so.
I can't say I didn't get skunked.
Well, oh, you're still skunked.
Yeah, I'm still
You're skunked. You're still skunked. Oh. Budweiser cans and old sinks don't count.
I'm skunked.
I think we're going to get some stuff here, though. I found that stirrup right upstream just a little bit, so we're going to hunt around here just a few minutes. It's an interesting little doodad right there, isn't it? I imagine that's like a step for a buggy or something. Bolts would have probably gone through there, and that's where the person put their foot to get up on top. So found the horse stirrup right over in that area. There's a lot of little pieces of iron in here, so this might just be horse tack, or horse stuff from a farm that's up over the hill there somewhere, and they just dumped it into the creek. Maybe he dumped old grandpa's Virginia belt buckle too, though. So we're gonna look around here just a little bit longer. So I have a mystery item I just found. It's not Civil War, but you want to see if you can figure out what it is?
Sure.
I bet you 90%, 99% of the people watching this video don't know what this is. But I do, because I found one a long time ago, did a lot of research, and, well, figured it out. You ready?
Okay, where is it?
Go.
Oh.
Hey, don't be reading the writing on it if there isn't.
Is there any?
Well, I guess you could. What do you think?
I'm thinking it's the insole of a shoe.
Oh, dude, come on,
right.
Man.
What?
Come on, just play along with me at least. Oh, I have no idea, Chigg. That's exactly what it is. Congratulations.
Right. Good deal.
Yeah, that's what it
Arch
is.
support, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's very nice, but it's kind of different. Yeah, so I just dug a pair of, I don't know why they call them pairs, but big shears. So that's kind of interesting. You see lots of little nails and stuff on there. So we're going to keep hunting this a little bit longer. Everything's nice and shallow. There's bedrock right there. Making a pile of my stuff over there. Thought I had a cannonball or a shell right here, but looks like just some type of axle thingy, probably for a wagon wheel. Or, yeah, wagon wheel, I guess what it is. I'm not sure. You can probably see it better there than I can see it from up here. Water's kind of murky. Rich would have freaked out because he walked right close by this and he really wants a shell. But that could be, you know, it's a shell signal right there. So, and maybe the next one. Maybe the next one. He's all freaked out probably. This is an interesting man-made structure that you guys will often see on creeks and rivers and things like that. It's a little concrete tower. It looks like it would be perfect for one soldier to stand up there and look for stuff. But what that actually is the USGS, which is the United States Geological Survey or Service, I'm not sure which, monitor for river levels. So those are the things that you can look up online and see if the river's flooding on the day you go out. I didn't look today, but if I had looked, that would probably have showed that the river was up just a little bit from a thunderstorm or something, and I would have known it was going to be murky like this. Because normally this one's pretty clear. So that's something you go online. Every state has tons of these, and you can see if it's been raining, you know, 300 miles away at a spot you want to go drive to, but you don't know if the river's flooded or not. So the USGS towers, pretty cool. Good knowledge to have. Right there looks like a stone wall, but there's so much limestone like that in this area it might not be. See a little here, a little there. I'm gonna get the machine out and check along this bank a little bit. Probably not right in here because you see this stuff's all been washed in. That's gonna be loaded with cans and pull tabs and all kinds of junk. And speak of the devil, there he is. It's a turtle crossing. That's a land turtle, an eastern box turtle. I actually saw another one a few minutes ago that was spotted. I'd never seen one like it, but I didn't get my camera out. How you doing? I'm not gonna go after you, don't worry. Pretty, aren't they? So we're coming through this little shallow area and we had to get out, and I looked over and saw this rock right here, and that's like a calcium carbonate type rock. That tells me there's a spring here some years ago, might be 1,000 years ago, might have dried up 10 years ago. But as we got out and looked around, looky, I see stuff. Ooh, that's a top for like a cookie jar.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is it pottery?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. It's like a ceramic lid to some type of jar,
Yeah.
and there's a enamelware plastic pot.
Yeah.
So this isn't very old stuff, but I thought that might be a brick, but it's not. So we're just kind of looking around, see if there's any old pottery, anything, any reason we might want to get the metal detectors out. It's an old bottle. That's a cool one. Broken though, but it's a sarsaparilla bottle. So there's obviously a dump in this area. I think we'll just look around a minute. There's an old tile from a bathroom, not very old. Some more tiles there. All right, yeah, I'm not excited about this spot. You excited about this spot? Yeah. Yeah, you got a spot down here where you actually found a Civil War thing, right? The last time you were in here, so we're headed that way. Maybe we ought to just pick up the pace a little bit. There's another big bloom of calcium carbonate right there. The other one was up where Rich still is. So there's an even bigger spring here at one time. We'll go over here and look, see if we can see any Indian artifacts or anything cool. And then we'll keep moving. And that's what's left of the spring right there. All right. Used to pop out down here a little bit too. All right, let's jump back in the boat and hit the road. Jack. Now these are giant blocks of from where a spring was popping out. Now that spring could have disappeared right after the last ice age, but that's exactly what it is. And this is a chunk that broke off in a flood. Isn't that neat? Wow, look at that. That's so cool looking. I think I hear the old spring that caused all these rocks to be formed. Yep, that's it. Wow, look at that. So obviously this thing has migrated downriver since, you know, a long time ago. But that is a beautiful waterfall. Sweet. Let's go over there and check it out. That, my friend, is awesome. Look at that. It's really cool, too, air-wise. Let's go ahead and beach here and look around. We'll take a quick gander up here at the waterfall. We're just catching up. The water is icy cold. Oh, look at this. This is so cool. Look at the stalactites. There's some old one. The spring was over here at one time naturally, and this broke off. All this broke off. So we're actually like looking at the inside of a cave. Looky! It's like a dragon. I think we could spend all day here, but I want to keep moving so we can find an artifact or two. Definitely going to come back to this spot and hang out some more. Yeah, we were just talking about whether or not we should just look for coins real quick. And looky! Coins! Yeah. I'm going to pick him up, man. Okay. Well, no, I think I'll leave him for the next guy. So we're floating down the creek, and I looked over, and there's like a lot of timbers, bridge timbers and stuff. There's one very interesting piece of wood that I have to go check out. You're going to come check out with me. I mean, it looks really good from here. Do you see it? Do ya? That looks like a musket, a Civil War musket. I found a Civil War musket.
Not yet.
I did. It's right there. You see it. I think we might need to hunt this area. Looky. I'll put you under. Now that we muddied it up, let's check it out, dudes. Looky.
No way.
I don't think Rich believed that we had a Civil War musket. We eyeballed it floating down the creek.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah, that's awesome.
That's so cool, Bo.
Yeah, it is. I have to agree. And you know what? We eyeballed it. Who knows what's under right there. We'll get those metal detectors out, and we'll have our boats loaded down with muskets and bayonets and cartridge box plates, bullets, so cool. Cannonballs.
I thought you were joking. I really did.
Oh, Chigg doesn't joke.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice. I know I don't sound that happy, but I'm really happy. Yeah. So, I mean, not often you eyeball a musket floating down a creek. Oh, I'm shaking. I'm shaking. I'm shaking. All right, man. So I tell you what. Yeah. We need to hunt it. I mean, this could have floated down from that mill up there, but they might have just lost a whole bunch of the soldiers. Could have thrown 1,000 of them in right there, man. Right there. Over there. So this is what we call a swarm with metal detecting. When you're on the river and you find a spot, everybody just jumps right in, elbow to elbow, because usually the spots aren't that big. So we want to make sure everyone has a fair chance of finding stuff. Right? And you got a good signal?
I thought so.
Grandpa's belt buckle, I hope. Not really seeing any other stuff, but we'll keep looking around. There's a lot of bridge timbers or something up in there. Before I found that musket, I floated by this wonderful artifact. I didn't get the camera out, but since I'm here, I'll show you. I had to laugh when I went by it, but oh well. So you know how much I hate leeches. We just did that big leech video. Let me show you what I have on the musket. The leech. That's hideous, man. Did he like do the yellow stuff, do you think?
I don't know.
Ah, that was in my boat, man.
Oh, yeah. Check your land.
It's disgusting. It's all yours. You can take the musket. I don't ever want to touch it again.
Okay, thank you, Bo.
Next stop, many hours later, we stopped and visited with a friend, one of Rich's friends up there. And anyway, so I just found out, like, not long ago, that part of this trip is we're looking for maybe an artillery shell that one of Rich's friends had found some years ago and for some reason didn't pick it up. He got one and left the other, so that's what we're looking for. He's got first dibs on the spot, but he doesn't know exactly where it is, so we might be arm wrestling before it's over. So but we think it's from about where we are now to, you know, before the bend up there. So yeah, you go first.
All right.
I'm gonna come behind you.
All right.
So I've been looking around for about 20 minutes, haven't found well, nothing really of too much interest. But I do want to show you a couple things that, well, are of interest, I guess. A little bit. There are tons of these little rings in here. And imagine, I don't know what they are exactly. Maybe they, you know, to keep some type of wood thing from splitting. But there's a lot of them, different sizes. There's a mill just upstream from us, so it's probably something to do with that. But isn't that a beautiful timber? Look at that thing. It's all notched out, and that thing could be a couple hundred years old. Could it come from an old bridge? Could it come from an old mill? Just don't know, but there's a bunch of those in this river here. And I almost wish I could take one with me, but I'm not even going to attempt it. I have not found an artillery shell yet. I do not think Rich has either, because he has not sung out. But we're going to keep looking. I'm not sure I believe the story, to tell you the truth. I mean, who would leave an artillery shell? So I just made that thing showing you that log right there. In between there and here, in like 3 minutes, the giant storm building, and it's been like non-stop thunder and lightning. And it was nothing when I was talking to you there. And if you listen back, I bet you know I'm right. But it's like non-stop rumbling. Hear it? It's a big one. That's going to be a mean storm. Hopefully it won't come this way. Finally found a piece of lead. It's not a bullet, but it's a homemade sinker, so I like that. Just walking along and I can see a horseshoe right there. I didn't even get a signal, I just saw it. Let's go in there, take a look at it, and see if it's something we want to keep. That's a weird looking little shoe, but boy, I tell you, it's a heavy one too. We'll definitely keep that one. That's a cool little hammer right there. I guess like a little blacksmith's hammer. Oh, wagon hammer, that might be what it is. See, it's got like a screwdriver end there, or a chisel end. And yeah. So I'm right back here where I was a few minutes ago by this log. I went all the way up, all the way back. Got a good signal. I've been digging on it. I can feel a nice edge. It's not a can. Could just be a belt buckle or something like that. Or nothing at all. But we're gonna go in and look real quick. You ready? Now, I need you to do one thing for me. And you know what it is? That's right. Hold your breath. Okay, do it. Well, I have it mostly uncovered, and it was a false alarm. Don't know what it is, but it's not an epaulet or a belt buckle. Let's take a look. Yeah, I felt that edge right there, and that just really felt like an epaulet, but I think it's like a piece of off a tractor. Oh well. So this is the strangest mill I've ever seen. Look at these massive rocks that were stacked up here by hand. This was probably done in the 1700s. It's an old mill. Right next to this roaring river. It floods all the time. There's one of the timbers going across there. There's another timber there, so this was probably dammed. Cool place, man. It's awesome. I'm going to actually find out more about this spot, because I just can't wrap it around my head why anyone would build a mill right here. I mean, it has to get flooded out like every year. You know what I mean? You would think. And on the other side, it just kind of drops off again. It's not like, you know, there's a hill that they could build on. It just drops off and there's more water. It's like an island almost. Very strange. So our last stop of the day, and it's probably the best spot. It's almost dark. I just found a little musket ball that's been flattened out and made into a fishing weight. I'm thinking that's going to be really early, because I also just found part of a pewter spoon. So that's 1700s right there. Sweet. Got a nice spring coming out. There's probably a house up there on the bank. You got something good?
Well,
Maybe. So
muddy water.
We got like 10 minutes to hunt, and well, we'll come back another day though. So hopefully we'll find something like superb in the next 2 minutes. Well, Rich is telling me we can't go yet, so we have to. Yeah, he's got a really cool can. I mean, that is a nice can. It's got the solder on it, the soldered bottom, so 1800s could be Civil War era. Who knows? We're gonna work a little bit here in the rain. If it starts getting really juicy with electricity, we're gonna scoot. We're getting pretty close,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
For takeout, so. Let's just walk.
Yeah.
Well, I guess old Rich in the USA is pretty hardcore.
We're having fun.
Yeah, we're having fun now.
And I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury